let's talk StarCraft. So recently it came out the news that there's a possible development of StarCraft III. And I want to show you guys a couple of things. One of them is it truly StarCraft III or is it something else? Meaning mobile game, which is pretty terrible what they done with Diablo and what they done with Age of Empires. It's kind of a nightmare if they want to do that. It's just like another cash cow, if we can name that. And so let's go into the news that I have over here. So Korean developer Nexon wins rights to make new StarCraft game. I would say that it does not depends. It does not depend so much about the company itself. Of course, we would all have higher expectations if it was from Blizzard, but it really depends on the team behind, right? So the whole team that developed StarCraft back in the day, it's not in Blizzard anymore. So I don't know if even they have either the creativity or passion, they would go back if Nexon would invite them, or if a new team of passionate developers and as creative as those would be able to push forward a story, right? So what we have here is the Nexon, the developer behind Maple Story, Blue Archive, and the Finals, will be the company making the next StarCraft game, as per South Korean business news site NTN. I do not know how passionate the Korean public is for the story of StarCraft. I would imagine they are. What I know is that they are very good at the esport, right? Competition. So the company was one of a number of developers and publishers taking part in bidding to win the rights to Blizzard's IP. Among it, the rights to make StarCraft games. First thought that came to mind was the mobile version of it, which is gonna be a sad kind of development. I bet there is no chance any mobile development would be worth while. Like I just looked at the Age of Empires mobile game. We all remember what Blizzard went through with the Diablo mobile game. It's just like, and StarCraft has also a very strong fan base. So Nexon beat out NCSoft. So basically, what they're telling us here, Netmarble and Craftcon to secure the rights to make a new StarCraft game in Korea. So basically, all we have over here is that they got the number of developers got the rights competing with those other companies here, right? Korea developer Dev Nexon will make the next StarCraft game. As per NTN, in a report from April 29th, Nexon's winning pitch included a unique, tough aspect here, unique, all right, let me move on here. Unique take on the StarCraft universe and potentially distribution rights for a new Overwatch title, entitled either Overwatch Mobile or Overwatch 3. While Blizzard fans are definitely wary of mobile titles, which we talked about, Diablo Immortal is still a bitter taste in many people's mouths, and some people's wallets as well. Any Overwatch is good Overwatch for fans of the game, right? So most importantly, though, is the creation of a new StarCraft title made in the unofficial home of StarCraft, South Korea. Korea has a long and storied history with StarCraft, with Brawl Wars Esports, first finding mass adoption in the country, a powerhouse in the sports world. Korea owes much of its pedigree to StarCraft. Now, one of their native developers will be developing the newest title in the franchise. Lots of anticipation there, Nexon. According to the MTN report, the bidding and pitching process was fierce because of the difficulty of creating a StarCraft game that could live up to the hugely popular original or sequel, StarCraft II. So I do feel like this is the core, right? The difficulty of creating StarCraft game that could live up to the hugely popular original or sequel, StarCraft II. So StarCraft both history the game is his my goodness, where's the word? The game storytelling, let me use that. So the game storytelling, it's so well round up that it's hard to say where they can go with this, right? To keep expanding or to let's see. Hugely popular original circle, but both are considered some of the best RTS games of all times. Best RTS games of all time. NC Soft reportedly had its CEO, Park Bin-moo, personally led the bidding, while Netmarble held an open competition within its company for development ideas. With Nexon's unique take on StarCraft universe, fans are left wondering what could be in store for StarCraft in the future. The company's previous titles are very different beasts to Blizzard's Hit RTS. Maple History is a notoriously addictive MMORPG. Blue Archive is a mobile gacha title. With StarCraft Esports likely dead in the waters, will this new title be a revitalization or another nail in the coffin? I don't think that StarCraft Esports is dead, but yeah, I don't think it's dead, but that's another thing there. So yeah, they don't have like the experience in RTS. If they try to blend with other things, I'm not sure what to expect. StarCraft have tried to make the shooter, right, first-person shooter, with the Ghost, if I remember correctly. And yeah, let's see. I'm not sure what to expect over here, but it's pretty clear. If it happens, they have an interesting road to march, if I might. This one brings another aspect which I think we have not talked. So Nexon wins the bidding war to make a new StarCraft as well as distribute a Blizzard mobile game. Okay, let's see. In late March, the news broke South Korean companies. Okay, this is just repeating the information we just read. All right, so attracted by StarCraft's long and storied history in South Korea, we're pitching everything from an MMO to a mobile game as a continuation. All right, so let me read here again. So in late March, the news broke that 4 Korean companies were competing to pitch for the StarCraft license from Blizzard. Those 4 companies are all absolute giants and attracted by StarCraft's long and storied history in South Korea. We're pitching everything from an MMO to a mobile game as a continuation of the RTS series. So, would it be a decent continuation if they changed from RTS to anything else? I'm not sure. I think like the Ghost idea, even though it did not work back in the day, which is basically a spin-off. So you could use either a spin-off or also a different something not RTS first person shooter for as an example into that existing world or in that existing history already, right? StarCraft history. So South Korean financial news outlet MTN is now reporting that the process has ended with Nexon winning the license. Nexon's pitch was previously described as a unique take on the StarCraft universe, and the MTN report adds that the deal includes the Korean Japanese distribution rights for Overwatch Mobile. This Overwatch game is being developed on Blizzard, and the Paramashine translation is now. Okay, so this is about Overwatch. Let's see if we have anything else. Wait, come back. I suppose with Overwatch Mobiles. As for StarCraft, there are no details on Nexon's intentions, but the fact that something might actually get made again in the StarCraft series has to be a good thing. As for StarCraft, there are no details on Nexon's intentions, but the fact that something might actually get made again in the StarCraft series has to be a good thing, not necessarily The big question is whether it will be an RTS or even reflect those roots in a meaningful way. Either way, it will be many years before we see what comes of this, but StarCraft is more well known and beloved in South Korea than anywhere else in the world, and Nexon, or the way it is supposed to be, will see this as massive opportunity in its home market. Hopefully, they make a good use of it. It's not the only StarCraft project offing in the offing either. Last year, we learned that Blizzard does have at least one more StarCraft project under development in-house. That's, drumroll please, the studio's third attempt at making a shooter. We talked about, yeah, following the canceled projects Ghost and Ares. It could be interesting. I do think it could be interesting, especially with the way graphics are today. It could be something else. If it's not canceled, said author Jen and Jason Schreier at the time, I mean, this is Blizzard after all. Yes, that is a project that, as far as I knew, was in development at least as of the time I wrote this book. This felt like such an interesting and useful nugget to include because it really just shows you that Blizzard cannot quit StarCraft shooters. One important point here is that if they make that shooter game something like Overwatch, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be decent because the mood of StarCraft and the ambience is much darker, much more serious, while that Overwatch is something like very hyped and brighter, let's put it like this, and it's different mood. So if they want to go with something more serious, more tense, I do think they have a higher chance to succeed. Things like StarCraft, Remastered and Hearthstone. Remastered was not very well spoken. Both StarCraft 1 and Warcraft. And Hearthstone crossovers are nice. Oh yeah, I saw the Hearthstone crossover with StarCraft. That's interesting. It was a couple months ago, I believe. But it's been 15 years since StarCraft II: Wings of Liberty, and 10 since the final installment in the trilogy StarCraft II: Legacy of the Void. A series as big as StarCraft can certainly survive a long period of absence. But the bigger worry for fans will be whether its future involves a strategy title of some description. Shooters and spin-offs are all well and good, but they are not StarCraft. Let's hope that somewhere in Nexon, you guys let me know. I don't think it's possible to let me know in the comments, or maybe it is. The decision makers agree. All right, so that's interesting. So we have both possibilities. If it's gonna be a mobile game, I tell you guys right now, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty terrible. If it's gonna be a spin-off like the shooter the ghost, that can be very interesting. There is a few games that have the capacity for you to go from the RTS to the first person shooter. I think even Lord of the Rings back many years ago had that possibility. There is these other Manor Lords that I don't think you can. I don't remember if you can interact with the environment or just visualize the environment. So you have a resource management type of city, castle, or whatever building, and you could go as your lord and visualize everything that is happening. That's interesting. I don't remember, and I don't know if you can interact with the environment. It's been a while. I have not played that one. So yeah, so there are possibilities out there, like the StarCraft 3. I'm not sure. It's so round up, the whole thing, the story and everything. I have a hard time to think what else could it be brought. So let me know in the comments, like a fourth race. I don't think a fourth race is something that could happen. Like the story is so binded together that I think that even better than the fourth race are like the variations of those races. Like the infested, we have the variation of the protos, like the many leaderships. Same thing with the Terrans, different leaderships. So you have variations of buildings, construction, so on and so forth. The mixed, when you have the infested, so it's like the mix of the Zergs and the Terrans. And I believe we did not have, for example, the variation of the the Protoss with the Zergs, but I believe there are other ones that is the origin there. Let's see how what unfolds from that. It's probably gonna take a little while. I have plans here to bring more content on StarCraft, overall also AI and things in that sense, film, uh, production. I'm not sure if I'm gonna bring too many things on photography, but my plan is to go for film production. I might be sharing and developing with you guys if you guys are interested on some StarCraft storytelling. Guys, why we do not have this is something that could happen, right? Why we don't have a StarCraft movie? So let's see if we can make that happen. Leave your comments, like, subscribe. Make sure you let me know what do you think. If you don't like, just give me your feedback so I know where you're coming from. And I see you guys next time.